Hello everyone, and welcome to VOD of Consciousness, where I talk about whatever it is that I feel like talking about while playing video games, because that sounds like a good idea. Yep, sounds like a good idea. Random Japanese, what does it mean? Probably it's supposed to look cool and not actually mean anything, but it might mean actual something. There were a lot of clever usages of Asian characters in names throughout the history of the game, in guild tags and the like. But I will not speak more on that right now. I will, in fact, go talk to Armin Saberlin to finish this quest about getting a secondary profession because I chose to make this character part warrior. Yeah. So then stuff about Sir Titus. So this will lead me to the end of Pre-Serving Ascalon. I'm not quite ready to leave yet. I am ready to go shop, though. And by shop, I mean sell. Sell stuff I do not need. Let's see. What's something I can stick there? Let's go ahead and stick. And then that. Okay. Let's talk to him again to refresh the order of items. That's got one use. Okay. I'll buy an ID kit. Okay. So, let's actually swap ID kits. Oop. Wow. There are two identical in-sync monks. Fascinating. So last time I was talking some about how I'm going to probably talk about a lot of Bible stuff and et cetera, et cetera. Being a Christian is a big part of my identity. There's some other stuff. He talks about... Sure, I can go talk to Miller Upton. Just outside here. So other stuff that... and how I don't care for tradition. I'm not a tradition-oriented person. I care a lot about what the Bible has to say, and I feel like a lot of tradition flies in the face of that. That's something Jesus talks about, too. He talks about how the Jewish leaders of his day, because he was a Jew, shock to a lot of people, hopefully not, but he talks about how the Jewish leaders of his day, he talks about basically how the Jewish religious leaders of his day used tradition to ignore what God said. And I feel, unfortunately, that to some extent the church, especially in America, where my context is, has fallen into similar paths. Not all of it. Certainly not all of it, but too much of it. Definitely too much of it. Okay, what does Miller Upton have to say as I'm walking over here to him? What is it I want? Something... take one of the honeycombs. Okay, this is a dumb quest. So this quest is teaching you about hold items and the way that they make you painfully slow. My goodness. Do I have... I don't have... of course I wouldn't have any speed buffs. That would be too convenient. Wouldn't it? Far too convenient. Oh, that's just a... Hey, rubber banding. That'll happen sometimes in this game. By the way, this is definitely not the default UI for this. You can customize the interface, and I have done so extensively. So, anyway. Go talk to Miller Upton. I mean, this is what I'm used to, because I customized this way a long time ago, but... So let's see. Other things, I feel like... Hey, level up. Sorry, I just got distracted by a level up. Yeah, let's get my fire magic up. Other stuff that matters to me, I'm really concerned, frustrated. I don't know. I'm basically kind of like, to some extent, a nudist. And there's a lot of stuff with nudity and sexuality and stuff that really bothers me about the United States. In particular, and I know I'm not going to be the first one to say this, but I really do not understand the absolute fear, the terror that a lot of parents seem to demonstrate with regards to their kids seeing nudity and that sort of thing. Basically, I don't understand why nudity, now non-sexual nudity, gets rated as highly as it does. It didn't used to, too. Like, Airplane... I got a copy of it over here, actually. Well, maybe I don't have it over here. Maybe it's in a different area. Thought I did. But Airplane, I think, had a... No, wait, maybe it's behind. Never mind, it wasn't. But anyway, Airplane is not that highly rated of a movie. Actually, you know what? I have the internet. Why not Wikipedia it and Airplane movie? It seems like that would be a good way to look that up. What are you rated? Okay. Do you not have... Why does it not have the rating over there? Let's see. Does this... Okay, that picture does not show the rating. That's not helpful. Whatever. 1990... Oh, 1980. For some reason, I thought that this would have the rating on it. But for whatever reason, I'm not seeing it. Oh, maybe I do have it and it's just behind stuff. Okay, you know what? Whatever. I don't immediately see the rating. Okay, enough of that. My point was that there's a bunch of random breasts in the middle of Airplane. The original Clash of the Titans, which I bet I have stuff double stacked. Where do I need to go for this? Ascalon City. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to do that one. Okay, I should do that one. But for that, Ashford Abbey. There we go. Airplane's rated PG. I found it. So, parental guidance randomly has breasts in it. Couldn't get away with that today. Original Clash of the Titans. I'm not sure on that one. It's somewhere. Oh yeah, that one's also PG. Has breastfeeding in it. I feel like both of those are things that you wouldn't see in movies today, because I feel like people have become super paranoid about breasts for some reason. It's like, why? For those who are wondering, I do support the free the nipple movement, because I think it's just absolutely ridiculous to basically somehow treat... oh, she has her own quest. Okay, let's look at this quest. But, it's absolutely ridiculous to me that for some reason women's breasts are rated X or R. I guess they're rated R, and men's are rated G. That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it's this one. This one's good to do. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, why? But then men's breasts used to not be allowed in public either. And in general, the whole thing about nudity, and again, this kind of goes to some of my anti-traditionalist tendencies. Like, I don't understand why the church traditionally has so many problems with nudity. Like, Adam and Eve were naked in the garden, and nudity was, and I talk about this in the clothing metaphor, Rambler, but nudity, or the feeling the need to cover up the nakedness is, I think, a metaphor for the shame of sin. But anyway, I could go at length about some of that stuff, and I think I probably will. That's Dwayna. I think that should be that Dwayna. No, I think that's Melandrew. It's the different deities in this game. Each profession of the initial 6, there's 5? Dwayna, Lissa, Balthazar, Grenth, and Melandrew. So yeah, there were 5 initial deities. And maybe I'll pick that. Actually, I don't need this power egg. Highly salvagable. That means I can get a lot of wood from it. I can get 5 wood from it. That's great. Where was I? Using healing signet. This is a very weak poison, yet swamp water. Obviously I'm getting highly distractible. But anyway, my basic point, if I haven't forgotten it, that's Dwayna, is that each of the 6 professions, or five of the professions were associated with the 5 deities. So warriors were associated with Balthazar, mesmers with Lissa, monks with Dwayna, necromancers with Grenth. Why am I blanking so hard on this? Necromancers with Grenth. What was... Rangers with Melandrew. Have I gone through all of them yet? Ranger, Necromancer, Warrior, Mesmer. And Elementalists were kind of special, because Elementalists were not associated with a particular deity, rather they're, it's K. K Sientir. Air magic is associated with Dwayna, Earth magic with Melandrew, Fire magic with Balthazar, Water magic with Grenth, and Energy storage with Lissa. So that's kind of an interesting lore tidbit, mostly. I mention it because it's interesting, I think. Let's see, is that a 13? I think that's a 13. Sorry, I'm looking at the timer for how long the episode has been. Let's see. So I guess I've talked mostly about stuff with me. There's lots of stuff that I care about. Politically, I consider myself an independent, for anyone who cares. Mostly, I'm tired of people not talking to each other and everyone kind of assuming the worst of each other. I will admit that I have my own sort of biases and tendencies, but yeah, thanks. This Grimcesta is not the one that I was thinking it was. This one's worthless. Okay. I don't think the -20 divine symbol is particularly useful. So what I'm looking at here is this has the downside of health -20. There's a special build called a 55 monk, or, well, 55ing. It was originally a 55 monk. But it uses a special monk skill called Protective Spirit that caps the maximum damage you can take to 10% of your max HP. So using a combination of various things to lower your health, you can get yourself down to a maximum health of 55, which means you only take 5 damage, and that becomes a lot easier to overcome with healing regeneration, which heals at a specific rate. So that was a particular build that was known for its farming power, particularly when they They did not tend to, in these games, this is the first one in particular, make the enemies with good variance to what they did. So they did not build them especially well. This game mechanically is a lot like a TCG. But anyway, looking at the time, it now brings us to it. So I will wish you adieu and see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Take care.